This next video that I'm going to go over is the grid analysis report. It's a report to analyze your sizes, to see what sizes are selling well, and you can also look at your on hand, your on order, sell through by size, so you can really analyze those sizes. So to get there, you're going to click on reporting up at the top, sales, and grid analysis. This will bring us into the grid analysis report. So same as every report, you have the report name. So if you wanted to name this report, select your criteria, and then save it, then that allows you to pull this report up at any time, pull it up, and then just run it. Here is the output method. The default is PDF. Just means that it's a report format, but any of these reports can also be exported to Excel or do a comma delimited format. We're just going to do PDF. You have three different options, three different tabs on this screen. You have report options, report criteria, and printing options. So we're going to start on the report options. And how do you want to group your data? So if you just want to group it by suppliers, we're going to select suppliers and that'll sort it that way. If you want to group it by class and it sorts it by class, we'll select class. In this example, we're going to click on suppliers. And if you are wanting SKU detail to print out, so you want it by suppliers, but you want to print out your SKU detail, that's where you would check print SKU detail in each group. That'll make it a pretty big report, so we're going to leave that unchecked. Then over to the right, we have how would you like to treat your stores. So you have separate stores for single stores or multiple stores that want to print the first store and all the information, then move on to the next store and all the information. Or you can also do combined stores if you're multiple stores where that combines the store's information together. We're going to do separate stores on this. The next part is how do you want to value your inventory? This tells you what your on-hand value was as of a particular day. So if you wanted to know what your on-hand value was as of today, we'd choose today. Yesterday, we can do last day of previous month. We can select a specific date. This will tell you what your inventory was as of whatever date you select here. Now we'll move to the report criteria tab. And this, just like any report, just allows you to be selective. If you only want to look at a particular supplier, we could use that supplier, and then back on the report options, we'd probably choose SKU detail to look at all the SKUs just within that supplier. And it's just a matter of selecting the code for that supplier, and it will only print information for that supplier. You can do multiple suppliers as well. So if I wanted to do New Balance and Nike, I would do the first code and I would separate it by a comma and put the next code in. I could also exclude information, and that's the exclude checkbox to the right. So if I wanted to do everything but New Balance, I could put the New Balance code and then I could click on this exclusion checkbox. We're just going to do all our suppliers, so I'm going to leave that blank. You can also select classes, one particular class, a few classes, a whole group of classes, just by checking what you want here in this section. You can do it by SKU, by color, by column, by row. Column meaning like your sizes. Row would be more like your widths on shoes or whatever type of product you carry. And then you can also be selected by product custom entries if you have any product custom entries in your system. And since I'm just going to do it for everything, I'm going to leave this entire screen blank. Now we can move on to the printing options tab. So here we decide what do we want to look at here. It's going to print my suppliers and it's going to print sizes. So I'll be able to tell what sizes I sell best in for each supplier. So for Nike, what sizes sell better? For New Balance, what sizes sell better? So here I can decide what do I want to look at here. Do I want to see my on hand, how many I have in each size on hand percent of total? I can look at my on orders if I check those. In transits, has to do with transfers, that haven't been received yet. I can look at the sales periods here. If I want to look at any of the sales periods, I can look at sell-through percents, any of this information. If I wanted to show negative on hands, I could click on the negative on hand information here. And what this means by sales period 1, 2, here, and the available period, that goes hand in hand with on the right here. So if I want to look at sales period 1, then I can choose what do I want to look at. Do I want to look at week to date, month to date? What is it that I want to look at here? So I might want to look at month to date for my first period, and maybe I want to look at previous month for my sales period 2. And if you want to look at available period, what's available, you can do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck those, and then now we're ready to run. So I'm just going to click on down at the bottom where it says add job and run, and that'll run this report. When it's done running, it'll bring you to the report history, and then you can just click on that report and click on open to open it up. So as an example, what I'm looking at right now, this is Brooks and it's adult apparel. So it's the extra small through 2 extra large grid for Brooks. So you can see here that this is the on hand that I currently have in each size. This is the percent on hand. This is what I sold month to date so far in each size, the percent month to date for sales, sell through month to date, my sell through, my previous month sales, my percent for the previous month sales, and my sell through for the previous month percent. So I can see that all basically in one big picture of how I did in each size. And you don't have to look at all of this information. I just had all of these items checked on the report when I made my selection. So if you were just concerned with sales and that's it, then we could just have sales to see exactly what you've been selling in each size, so you can tell your most popular size. But it's kind of nice to be able to see what you currently have on hand plus your sales history. And a lot of people look at this more like every quarter, maybe twice a year at the end of the year, but it's completely up to you how often you would like to look at this report. But it just gives you a great snapshot of how you're doing by size. So you can basically tell, what your best-selling sizes are and what you have on hand in all of your sizes. Up above, I showed you the Brooks for that adult apparel size, but at the end of the report, we even break it down by totals. So as a complete total, what do you have for all your vendors combined? So you'll be able to tell, what you have for on hand, your month-to-date sales, your previous month sales, etc. And that is how you run the grid analysis and what all is on it.